Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing a video on a custom finish that I do, seems like lately all the time, and it's extremely popular. I get asked about it a lot. Now I do have a video on my channel that showcases something similar, but I figured, you know what, I had a big piece to do and it would be way easier to show you guys on a large piece and go through the whole process with you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm gonna start by saying you can choose any paint brand you prefer in these type of colors. I basically use the same two colors every time. Sometimes I'll vary the lighter color a little bit, but I always use the same darker color. So for my look, I choose Fusion and I'm using Algonquin, and then this is one of their newer colors, which is Cashmere. Now I switch this one up sometimes and use raw silk. Sometimes I'll use a brighter white, but I always stick with my dark base. So these are the two colors that I use to create the blend. So let me go ahead and get started and show you the process.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our washes made. Now this one, the lighter one, I'm using actually leftover wash that was already done a few days ago. The darker one, I'll go ahead and show you how I mix it. So I just do a little bit of paint and a little bit of water. The ratio depends on what your paint consistency already is and how sheer you want it to be. I would say for this job, I did about a 75 paint, 25% water, but you can do 50-50 if you like as well. Okay, so I've got my rags and I have my painting sponge. Today we're going to try something different and wipe back with the painting sponge, but you can also use towels as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started applying our paint wash. So there's no real rhyme or reason to the way I apply this. It's basically just what desired look you're going for. I want a really blended look and I want equal amounts of color to be deposited. If you want a lighter look, go with more of the lighter wash. I also want the colors to do exactly what they're doing. I want them to bleed or run together. That's going to create a really nice blended look for me. What you see me doing is applying the wash and then I'm going back over it with the paintbrush, kind of blending it together. This helps to not make it real stripy and keep it really blended and mesh the colors together. I'm working from one end of the dresser top to the other. Real complete fluid strokes from one end to the other is key to make this look really, really nice. And as you can see again, what I'm doing here is I'm going back over it with the brush. And what I'm trying to do is keep it wet, if you will, so that when I go back and wipe it with my sponge or my cloths, I'm not going to have any pull or drag. So that's what I keep doing when you see me go back up to the top. Once I get everything on, I give it one little final with my paintbrush, and now I grab my sponge and I start blending. And as you can see, this is where the look really starts to come together. Now, lots of questions about, well, don't you get the paint wash on your painted surface? Yes, I do. And this is what you see me doing here is I'm just going back with a damp cloth and I'm lightly rubbing it. I'm not too terribly worried. My paint has a top coat built into it, so it is pretty durable. You don't want to scrub too hard though. In the end, you'll see me, I'll go back in with some touch-up paint on the edge. All right, so here we are after the first coat is all done. Now I'm going to go ahead and let this set up for about 30 minutes before I apply my second coat. And if you're happy with the way it looks after coat one, go for it. My client would like it to look a little bit more opaque, so I'm going to go in with another coat. And here I'm just showing you where I see I've gotten some of the wash on my painted surface. I'll touch that up and I'll show you guys at the end. All right, so here we go with the second coat. Essentially, we are repeating the process. We are just going over again with the alternating colors, layering them, blending them, and overlapping them. That's the key to this look, is just to make sure that you are blending it in so that you don't get a real stripy effect. And so I do it once with the paintbrush and then I go over it with either my paper towels or in this case, I'm using my painting sponge. And as you can see, it starts to blur those lines and really blend it in. All right, here we are, second coat, all done. I am super happy with the result. And now is when I'm gonna go back and touch up on my edge there just to get all of that excess off. I don't wanna rub too hard, so I do leave some of it behind. All right, so now the final touch, just to go ahead and touch up that trim. I'm using my Klingon F40 brush. You can use any 1-inch trim brush for this, but as you can see, it all disappears and looks beautiful in the end.
Guys, that is it. We are at the end of the video. As you can see, it is not a terribly difficult finish to achieve. Now, like I showed you in the video, you can use two different things. I just started using that sponge to kind of wipe back and blend, but if you don't have one of those, you can use any type of a foam sponge. You can use those white rags, which I've used many times before. I just thought I would try it one day, and I actually liked the way it worked with the sponge, so I started using that. Anyway, I hope this video was super helpful for you guys today. This is one of my favorite finishes to do lately, and it's extremely popular. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you go hit that subscribe button. Not only does it allow you to be part of my YouTube community, but it supports my channel and keeps me going. Also, make sure you hit that post notification bell so you can get all of my latest videos once they're released. Again, thanks you guys for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next video.